Not every team can go away from home and beat a team 5-0. Not every team's going to go away from home and win their games. You guys faced Newcastle, you drew. Tottenham faced Southampton, they drew. They faced Liverpool the week before. Great game by them, but they ended up drawing. And you know what? So far, Game in Hand FC have dropped points. You want to know why? The pressure is on you. The pressure is relieved from us. We're ahead of you guys currently. The pressure is on you to catch up to us. And you know what? This is not even about you, Terry. This is about Tottenham. Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, I was about to say,
one second. Let me finish. Tottenham Hotspur. Today, I watched that game. They had 2 goals that were disallowed. One of them was a clear like mess up by Doherty. He barged into the goalkeeper. The second one, it was close. I think the referees really they got hard done by the referees today. I'll give them that. But when it comes down to it, and you know what? I'll take it back. Gil, he looks like a baller. I was watching him today. He really looks good. But when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United and all you guys who have games in hand, always remember, points on the board are more important. And when you have points on the board and you actually are ahead of the team, you continuously put the other team under pressure. And today, Tottenham were under pressure. They could not score a goal. Even though they had 2 goals that were disallowed, when it actually mattered and they need to come down to getting that goal, they couldn't do it. And if it wasn't for the red card, I really think Southampton would have been in this game.
I get what the energy you're coming with, but you do realize that I've said that the games in hand are not as good as points.
It's not about what you said, Terry.
I'm just saying, because like it's weird. Like
you're just here.
You and the viewers have been saying that to me for like 2 or 3, like a week or so, and I'm like, yeah, but I totally agree. I've been
Terry,
the one.
It's not even about you. It's about your fan base. It's about the Tottenham fan base. Come outside, Tottenham fans. Where are you? You said Arsenal Football Club should not be excited. Manchester United fans, you said Arsenal Football Club should not be excited. Guess what? We're on 35 points. How many points are Manchester United on? 28. How many points are Tottenham on? It's irrelevant. You're not catching us. You are not catching us this season. Arsenal Football Club are finishing above Tottenham this season. In my opinion, they are not catching us. We're going to beat them in their toilet. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says to me. This Tottenham Football Club, there's uncomfortable conversations you have to have. Son has been looking out of pace. You have Harry Kane, who's been terrible this whole entire season, just getting his 4th goal of the season. You have a lot of players in this team that need to do a rebuild. Tottenham Hotspur is in a rebuild that they do not want to identify. They do not want to start their rebuild. They're prolonging the inevitable. They need to rebuild this team. I'm sorry. Anybody who tells me once again, oh, Arsenal are in a false position, I don't care. I really don't care. We are putting pressure on you guys. You guys need to catch up to us. And if you continue to belittle what other teams are doing, I'm sorry. It's up to you. But at this point, I'm saying what I've said. I don't think Tottenham are going to catch us this season. If they do catch up to us, it's going to be for a short period, because at the end of the season, I think we're going to be finishing above them, and they are in a worse rebuild than us, because we are progressing and we have young players and we have a team that is going to go get better together. They currently have Son, who's not firing, who's one of their best players, Kane, who's not firing, who's one of their best players. Their midfield looks disjointed at times. Harry Winks and Oliver Skip are getting game time at their team. I don't rate those guys. You still have David Sanchez, who, you know what, he was a good player at one point, but not anymore. You still have Eric Dyer in the middle of your defense. And how dare Antonio Conte, your credibility to me is gone. How are you saying that Eric Dyer is going to be one of the best center backs in the world? Are you crazy? You said that on camera. Terry, did you hear this? He said this on camera, that Eric Dyer will be one of the best center halves. Come on. Stop being delusional. Even as a great manager, you can say some actual crazy shit. But yeah, that's it. I'm done. These Tottenham guys, they're not catching us. They're
so you don't believe, no matter what they do in the window, no matter where they are, what they're doing, you believe there's no chance. I mean, if they win their 2 games in hand, still they would go above you. But you don't believe they're going to do that. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. But the question
play Arsenal, you know.
No, one of the games in hand is in Arsenal. So this is what's interesting about it. Your next 2 games, Man City and Spurs. How do you feel you're going to do in those matches?
Manchester City is going to be a hard game. Arsenal at home versus Man City. I honestly, at best, I hope that we can get a draw. But the games that matter, the game that I'm looking forward to the most is the game after that, the Tottenham game. The Tottenham game in the league is the next game after the Man City game. We need to go away at home to Tottenham and come back with 3 points. If we go and do that, in my opinion, that will help solidify that we will finish above them this season, and it will help solidify our top four race.
I agree with you. I've said all along, if you guys, well, say all along, in the last day or so, my thought process is if you get a positive result against City and you beat Tottenham, you become the favourites for the top four. Interestingly, if you lose to City and Spurs beat Watford, which they're highly likely to do because Watford are a very poor team. And again, there's always a slip up, but they're highly likely to beat them. If they beat Watford and you lose to City, there will be 2 points difference. If they beat you at White Hart Lane, they go a point above you with 2 games in hand. That's why for me it's such an interesting watch if I'm just looking at you two teams for a minute, isolated as the North London teams going into this battle. You could be in a position where by the time your game against them finishes, you could be anything between 5 to 8 plus points in front of them, or a point behind them with them having 2 games in hand. The swing is massive, and I think it's very exciting for fans to look at that and watch what's going to happen and unfold.
Guess what, Terry? The pressure is on Tottenham. The ball's in your court. Let's see if you can handle it. I don't think they have the cojones.
But and listen, you're entitled to that opinion. I can't call it right now. I would always put Arsenal as favourites over Tottenham in North London games. I always do. Even when they were better than you in the league for a 2 or 3 year period, those games in the North London derbies, Arsenal still always felt like they were coming out on top for me. Your next game is massive against City. Get a positive result in that, and the world is going to start looking at you very, very differently indeed. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. I think it's true. I think they will, just because of who they are and what they're doing. Viewers, what do you think? We've got Jerome and Rack backstage that want to come in and have their say. There's a few super chats here I want to do. Holy delusion, Batman, is what CFC Florida has got to say. Pac-Man says, Arsenal fans always do this to themselves. It's hilarious to watch. Chill. You've had a few decent games. You're not a guaranteed top 4 at all.
A few. Okay, go rewatch the tape, my friend. Go rewatch the tape, please. We've only